Hello and welcome to Create the Flow. I'm Monica Freeman, host and founder of Monica Freeman Studios and Unewell. I am here to guide you in aligning with your soul's purpose, trusting your inner voice, and building a life that you truly love. You were born with a purpose, and your intuition already knows the way. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. A lot of my clients, a lot of my friends, and even myself go through these phases where we start to doubt ourselves because we aren't seeing signs or nothing is working fast enough. And we start to wonder why we can't figure things out, like we're lacking clarity. I used to be somebody who needs to know how it ends. Our egos want to control the outcome. We want to know how it works. How does it end? That's the reason why we watch a movie or read a book, so we can get to the end. We just want to know how it ends. Sometimes we don't always have clarity in how it's going to develop, because if we did, maybe we wouldn't choose that thing, or maybe we'd take a different path. It would be a lot less exciting because we wouldn't have room for growth. With clarity comes a level of self-trust, a level of really tuning into your body and hearing what it's telling you. I built a creative agency that was extremely lucrative. And at the height of my business, I decided to step down and shift paths. And even though I still work with clients and I'm still doing creative work, I'm focused on my wellness brand now, and that truly is my heart. And I constantly try to find clarity in if I'm supposed to be doing both or if I'm supposed to fully lean into just one. Because when I get to the core of what my heart is telling me, as a Gemini manifesting generator, I know that logically, all of these things that I am drawn to don't make sense to the outside world. But internally, they make sense to me because they are stepping stones that all add up at the end. They all come together. So for me, I understand that these pieces fit together. There's clarity in my vision because I understand my soul. But it took me a long time to understand why all these illogical things and all these different callings and different directions were tugging at me and how I was supposed to pursue them. So if you're somebody who's listening to this right now and you are lacking clarity and you feel stuck, confused, lost, I want you to know that you, first of all, are not alone, because we have all been there and some of us are still there. The answers are within you. When you allow yourself to take that pause, it can be a 10-minute reset. It might be a week reset like I had last week. It might be a month reset. Whatever that pause is, when you're able to slow the external noise so you can really listen to what your body is saying, it's going to show you the way. That's why people spend so much money taking these weekend retreats and why they go vacate. We need time to decompress because it's in the quiet times where we can actually feel the path. It's really hard when we are overstimulated by external noises and surrounded by people and voices and social media and news outlets and traffic and all kinds of congestion to go internally and hear ourselves think. Even in meditation practices, which I've become very good at, it's still challenging when I'm overstimulated to quiet my internal voice, because we are consumed with negative thoughts, and 80% of our thoughts on average per day are negative, and 95% of them are just on a loop. So we have so much happening unconsciously internally that in order for us to get a hold of that 5% consciousness, we have to actively choose to control that part of us. We have to actively choose to go internally and find that reset. If your nervous system is not regulated, you're never going to be able to find that reset. And going back to those retreats that people spend money attending, it's because when you are in a sanctuary, in a safe space, in a group of like-minded individuals who are all there to just decompress, to heal internally, to feel what their body is saying, to hear their own voice. You're able to actually reset. You're able to find that parasympathetic state, that rest and digest state. You're able to feel safe in your body. When you are constantly anxious and overwhelmed and overstimulated, your body is not relaxed. Your nervous system is in what's called a chronic stress state. And even though you don't feel stressed out, your body is always in fight, flight, or freeze. And it's unable to process emotions. It's unable to process situations. It's unable to think clearly. And when you can't think clearly, you become confused. You lack clarity. You lack direction. You feel lost. So in order for you to do that reset, to get your body fully aligned, you have to heal your nervous system. I want you to find a space in your house, in nature, even in your car if you have to, wherever you can be disconnected from the world. Close the phone down, close the laptop, get away from your friends, your family, just spend time by yourself. And I want you to either play a peaceful meditation or any ambient music, binaural beats. If you don't want to do any of that, if noise is actually more distracting, then I want you just to sit in silence. And I want you to breathe. If you have the capability of doing deep breaths, I want you to do that a few times until your body actually feels still, like it's safe to relax. I want you to spend a few minutes thinking about yourself. And I want you to ask yourself, what do I truly want? What is it that I want? And if you're not sure, because sometimes it's not so obvious what we want. Sometimes knowing what we don't want is more obvious. So if that's more obvious, then answer that as well. What is it that I don't want? And listen to what your body says, your immediate first response. Is it this job? Do you want a new job? Are you stressed over posting on social media every day? Are you not happy in a relationship? Do you want to move? Do you want to change your lifestyle? Do you want to start something new? What is it that's happening with you? What is it that you want or that you do not want? And allow your body to feel the emotions that come up when you say it out loud. You might be thinking, I want a divorce, or I want to start over. And these are scary thoughts because fear is your body's way of protecting you. Your body has been conditioned to repeat certain programs for as long as you've created these programs, and they become habits. They're just natural everyday habits that your body uses to protect itself. But in order to actually keep you safe, you have to create habits that are in alignment with who you are today in this present moment. So if your body is telling you you want something else, take small aligned actions to do that thing. You can't get a divorce in one day. You're not just going to go tell your spouse that you want a divorce and tomorrow everything's perfect. You're not just going to start over and tomorrow everything's perfect. You need a plan because things take time. Nothing happens overnight. When you make one small choice that is in alignment with that thing every day, it gets easier. You create new neural pathways in your brain that create a new system. So this new pattern, this new program, and you form new habits and you start living a life that feels good to you. And all of a sudden, clarity starts to unfold. What seemed illogical and maybe even delusional starts to make sense. You start to understand where your body was taking you to begin with. When I started over, I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is that I could not live the way I was living anymore, under the amount of stress and under the debilitating anxiety. I was suffering. There was no choice but to get healthy. And I just followed the paths. The first thing was yoga. The second thing was understanding how the mind body connection works. Then it was understanding how to heal my thoughts, rewriting my subconscious programming, healing my nervous system, leaning into what my soul was calling, truly building out a life I was proud of without actually having to do anything but listen to my body. And it was scary. I didn't make any money. I gave up all of my homes. I gave up a career that I loved, clients that I loved. I walked away from friendships, and it was the best thing I ever did. And now I have this sense of peace internally that is priceless. No dollar amount could have kept me in this lack, in this confusion, in this stress. And I want you to know that I'm here if you want to message me on Instagram. If you want to send me an email, you can also text through the show here. But I'm here for you. I know a lot of people say that, and then you reach out and they have somebody from their team, their support, reach out to you, and it doesn't feel very personal, but that's not the case here. I'm genuinely here to help you because I know what it's like to start over. I know what it's like to feel lost. I know what it's like to lack clarity. It is scary and it's awful and it feels terrible and it's stressful. But when you actually make choices that are aligned with you, it gets so much easier. Find that time and space. Ask yourself what's going on. Really get to the core of that. I want you to make one small change today. That is toward the thing that your body is telling you it needs. Tomorrow, do the same thing until that becomes comfortable, second nature. And when you form that habit, make another shift and another and another. And these small changes will start to build. And they will compound over time, and eventually it gets easier and it gets better. And you look back and you don't even remember how you got to this beautiful place, but you are happy. And you're not lacking any clarity because you know exactly why you were meant to take these steps. I hope this inspires you to take the next step and to know that you have all the time in the world. Now is the present. This is the time that we have. So every single thing that you want, you can do right now in this present moment. Don't be afraid of time. I love you so much. I want nothing but the most beautiful future for you. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you'd like more information, you can follow along on Instagram at Create the Flow Podcast or find me personally at Monica Freeman. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a review and share it with a friend.